Breaking right now, an Obama-appointed federal judge has just ordered the Trump administration to make immediate arrangements to return one of the more than 200 alleged gang members who were deported to El Salvador last month. The judge says that Kilmar Abrego Garcia's deportation was illegal because it was done without a judicial proceeding. A judge previously ruled that he could not be deported to El Salvador because of concerns that he would be a victim of gang crime. The administration recently said that his deportation was, quote, an administrative error, but insists that he is a member of MS-13. Unclear right now how he is going to be returned since he is now in El Salvador's custody. Let's bring in Tricia McLaughlin, Assistant Secretary for Public Affairs at the Department of Homeland Security. Tricia, thank you very much for joining us today. Obviously, this story is just breaking, but your reaction to this news and how this will be handled.
Well, the American people should know who this individual is. He's not some Maryland father, as the mainstream media will make you believe. He's actually a member of MS-13 and was involved in human trafficking. It's unbelievable, the framing of this. Whether this man is in El Salvador or in a U.S. detention center, he should be locked up. And people should also know who MS-13 is. It is a gang that rapes, maims, and kills Americans for sport. They should not be on U.S. soil, and any media outlet who tries to make him a darling or a victim should really be ashamed, because the American people do know better.
Here's the vice president responding to a question about this story. Watch this.
This was unquestionably an illegal alien. This was unquestionably a person who broke the laws to get into our country. This is unquestionably a person an immigration judge had found had zero right to be in the United States of America. We do not ask permission from far-left Democrats before we deport illegal immigrants. We do the American people's business. And again,
so you say that the government has evidence that he's a member of this gang. So what will happen? Will he be brought back and then held in a facility and then come before the court?
No matter what, Martha, he will be off of American streets and no longer a danger to the American public, where he, along with other members of MS-13, have terrorized Americans for far too long under the Biden administration, where they essentially tied the hands of our ICE enforcement officers and allowed these individuals to be on our streets. As far as the courts go, we'll have to wait and see, Martha.
So there's another terrible story in South Carolina about a college student who was killed over the last couple of days by an illegal who was here and who mowed him down with a car. Your reaction to this? The suspect's now being held in Columbia, South Carolina, but he was supposed to be sent back by an order in 2018. An immigration judge in North Carolina said that he should be sent back. Unfortunately, for this family that is mourning the loss of this college student today, that never happened. Do you know why?
Yes, Nate Baker is a 21-year-old Virginia man and a USC student. My heart breaks for that family. He was riding his motorcycle just in the middle of the afternoon on a Wednesday and was struck and killed by a illegal immigrant who didn't even mention to stop. He just kept going and was eventually arrested. As you said, he entered the country illegally around 2015 from El Salvador. He's escaped law enforcement, even though he was ordered back in 2018 to El Salvador. So this is a direct result of open border policies and why President Trump and Secretary Noem are doing everything they can to get these illegal aliens out of our country.
Tricia McLaughlin, thank you for joining us. Thanks for responding to the breaking news there at the top of the hour. That Maryland man's gotten a lot of attention. Now he'll be heading back. You say that Department of Homeland Security and the U.S. government will make sure that he is not a free man when he returns. We'll watch that closely. Thanks, Tricia.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.